No,
we all think we
it's
need
a
to
myth.
change our lives. I mean, isn't that what
Silly.
we're getting marketed all the time? That
No,
you got to
It's so
change
silly.
your
It's
life.
so silly. I argue with my friends. They all say that, where's your protein? You need protein. You need protein. I always think, why? Why do I want to look like Lou Ferrigno? Like, why does everybody want to look like Lou Ferrigno?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Arlene Is Alone. And today I am really delighted to tell you that we're talking with Bif Naked. Now, Bif is an incredible musician, an incredible artist, and her story is really just something that I think you're going to find not just interesting, but also very uplifting and very helpful as you go through your journeys in life. We all have gone through lots of challenges, and Biff, you'd certainly had your fair share. But thank you so much for coming on this show with me. I know we've talked before on my podcast many years ago, but it's nice to do this in person. As we were just saying, it's so nice to sit across and get close to somebody,
it's really
right?
nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, and you know what, I every time well, I haven't seen you like this, but every time I look at you, I'm always so your eyes are like something else. You must get that all the time, but you people could get lost in your eyes. You have the most beautiful eyes because I feel like when I look at you, I can feel kind of the joy, the pain, the experience of life.
Oh, well, that's nice. I
see
feel like
it.
I rub them too much. They always feel red to me.
No, they don't look red at all. They look beautiful. So tell me, you've gone through lots of things in the last few years, but let's talk first about, because the show is all about relationships. So let's talk first about relationships, if that's okay.
Of course.
Yeah, tell me about what is going on with your life right now. I know you've had a couple marriages, and where are you at today?
Well, I feel like I'm always I believe we're the architect of our own undoing.
That's true.
And I'm an eternal optimist. I'm a hopeless romantic. And I'm a people pleaser. I can never say no. I have no boundaries. I grew up with no boundaries. I think that my relationship models were after my parents. And my mother was basically shy, and she was also a people pleaser. She was shy, polite to a fault, and that's who she was. And I'm one person on stage, this confident, love myself today. Yeah, hitting dudes over the head with the microphone when I was a young performer. But who I am in my personal life is an overcompensator. And I love nothing more than to do all these things. I want to take care of everybody. I want to do all the cooking.
So you're being the house.
I
You're
love it.
doing all that stuff
I
while you're
love
having
it.
your career.
And it's funny, one of my best friends is a psychotherapist, and she just kind of shrugs, if I complain or cry over, my marriages. Of course, I'm on divorce number 3, and she just looks at me. She has no sympathy for me at all. And she goes, well, of course.
Because you've been taking care of him.
She goes, you chill. I go, well, I'm a pattern repeater.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same things. And she goes, no, you choose the same guy every time.
Oh, interesting.
And I go, no, I don't. They're all different. I had one boyfriend who was a neurologist.
Yeah.
I had one boyfriend who was a criminal.
Yeah.
I had one boyfriend who was I go through all the things. And she goes, no.
They're all the same.
You wanted to be a mommy.
Oh, really? So you wanted to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And so they were all people that needed to be taken care of, even though they did different things with their careers.
Yeah. And they, in my manager's words, they all marry you and they retire.
Yeah.
Whether it is my sisters or my girlfriends or my manager or anyone, they have lots to say about my failed relationships. And, I do get a lot of tisks, and, a lot of my friends can say, well, I saw it. They can look and
I always
say,
knew it was never going to work.
yeah,
I didn't like him
they
ever.
can certainly. And I mean, hindsight, as they say, is 2020. I shed a lot of tears.
Yeah.
A lot. I cried, oceans of tears over my marriages, of course. And I always say I learned a lot
Yeah.
about myself, and why I continue to do the same things every time.
You're in marriage 3 right now, or you're in the middle of that?
I'm headed to marriage 4.
You're headed
That's
to
what I
marriage
always
4?
say.
Okay.
And all my friends and family say, no, don't get married again. And and I think that I have friends who never married and say it's archaic. It's just it was a made up thing in medieval times. It's all about property, or oh, the church made it up. It's not really a good thing. But, I'm a hopeless romantic, and people love to get married. They do. They love the concept of proclaiming your love for one person.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. I don't know. I think that never say never in life.
Yeah.
And I remember when my mother was getting divorced from her last husband. This is not my birth mom, but my mom. I remember telling her, now, Mom, moving forward in your life, you don't have to be, specific about boys. You can love anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And my poor mother, I remember
didn't know what to do with that.
her looking at me going, Beth, if I haven't gone there by now, I'm probably not going to. But really, truly, I think that for anyone, it doesn't really matter, moving forward in life. I think that there's, many people who just, all you really want moving forward in your life at any age is a companion, and somebody who's gonna make you feel understood and seen and accepted and adored. And I think that that's really all there is to it. And I think that that is possible for anybody at any age.
Well, I've got so many questions. So your birth mom, do you know your birth mom?
I sure do.
Yeah. And when did you get to meet her?
I met her when I was 21,
Okay.
and she's only 15 years my senior.
Oh, wow. So you're very close in age then.
Yeah, and we're so similar. We have a lot of the same mannerisms, and a lot of the same, we have the same sense of humor. And
What was that like to meet her at 21 for the first time and to see that you were so much like her? That must have been really.
it was so easy.
Yeah.
It was so fun and easy, and it still is. And her daughter, my half sister, and her son, my half brother, we have a great time. That's easy.
Yeah.
Like it's joyful. Those relationships are very joyful, and yeah, it's just very comfortable. It was instant comfortable.
Yeah.
There was never anything
I
awkward.
love that. So she clearly gave you up for adoption because she was like 15 years old. She was just a child herself, right? And then later on, how did your mom who raised you take you having a relationship with your birth mom? Was that like cool?
She loved it.
Oh, that's
I mean, it was my parents had always they raised my older sister and I. We were both adopted, and it was kind of a long sordid tale. We were adopted in India, and we always knew, obviously, that we were adopted. And they said, whenever you're interested, whenever you're ready, we will help you. Meet your birth mom, anything you want to do. So we always knew that was available to us. And for my 21st birthday, for my gift, my parents flew me to meet my birth mom.
Oh,
from
wow.
my cousin. And so, yeah, I've known her ever since. And she lives up in Wasaga Beach.
Oh, nice. So it's close.
Now that I live in Toronto, it's easy for me to go and hang out.
And your mom, are they Indian as well? So were there any cultural differences?
No, they're a Canadian
They're
family.
Canadian
So I was the
family.
only Canadian in my family. My parents were American.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. You got to really there's a lot going on
Yeah.
there but I love that you have relationships with everybody, that you
Mhm.
figured out how to kind of keep people in your life and
Mhm.
build on that. My mother, I don't know my birth dad. My mom had an affair when she was married to my dad in South Africa, and I was a result of that affair. And then they came to Canada, and so I only found out when I was 31 that I wasn't,
Wow.
like hereditarily or genetically related to my dad who had raised me.
Mhm.
And it was at 31, I thought, like, I always felt like I didn't belong in the family in some way. I always felt like I was different than my two sisters. And, I kind of just one day I was talking to my mom in the car and said, I feel like there's something you're not telling me. And she said at that point, yeah, like she said, I've had the secret. I need to tell you, your sisters know, your dad, of course, knew, the dad who raised me, but I had no idea until she told me then. And there was a part of me that wanted to at one point meet him, but then I kind of went, yeah, I don't think I need to, and I think if he knew we'd gone to Canada, yeah, I thought if he wanted to, be in my life, he would be in my life. So I never met him. I'm imagining he's probably passed away by now.
Mm.
But it's interesting because you always wonder what about me is coming from that,
Uh-huh.
genetically from him versus how I was raised, nature versus nurture. It's
Mhm.
interesting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is for sure.
Yeah. Are you feeling like when you just back to your relationships with men? Because I also think we're very similar. I tend to want to take care of everybody too. Like oh, you need something, I'll get it for you. Or you need like, and so in my relationships, I was married twice. I was in two long-term relationships on top of that. I feel like I've been in relationships for the majority of my adult life. So now I'm happily single. And I actually find that I'm in this other place in my life where I'm understanding what those relationships didn't give me that I can give myself. You
Mhm.
know, do you think you'll ever get there, or do you think you're always going to love and want to be in a relationship?
I feel like I have such a wonderful support network of family and friends, and I feel like my heart is always full. I'm not rushing, and I think that's the thing with everyone. But I'm also inspired. So many women that I know have found love in their 60s and
Yeah.
late 60s
Yeah.
and have fallen deeply, madly in love and are living their best lives, and they're having incredible vacations. They're having wild animal sex and they're having the best times. They really are.
Yeah.
And I think, why not?
Why not?
Because now they are so um, sure of themselves. They're confident. They love life. They are, at a place in their lives where they are happy and secure. They're financially stable, and they are, their kids are launched. Their lives are enriched with everything that they love. And why not? This is the best
Why
time in
not?
their lives.
Yeah. I think the whole point of relationships, whether it's with yourself or with somebody else, or and who cares who that somebody else is about what is making you feel like it's your best self, and that you are yourself, and that you're not
Yeah.
taking care of somebody, that there's a mutual kind of respect for each other's views and positions. And that's hard to find, I think.
I don't know. I think
She's the hopeless
I don't know.
romantic. She's like,
Yeah,
you're convinced you're gonna find somebody.
not even just
No?
me. I'm convinced for everyone.
For everyone.
I am, because I just think that, why not? And it's not even about seeking. It's about being open to the idea. It's not even about grasping or yearning or pining or anything like that. It's just always about being open to the possibilities.
Yeah.
I think that there's a saying that I love so much. Well, there's two sayings. One is, why postpone joy?
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is, live in joy.
Yeah. Well,
And I really believe that
I like that.
No matter what, why not? Why not? They say that the world is a dumpster fire and people are like outraged, especially this past year, with everything that's going on. It's yes, absolutely the world is just outrageously disappointing right now. So the very least we can do is not only self-love and love the people around us, and yes, try and nurture and support all of the people that we can, but also be open to the possibilities for ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's true. I'm curious, you have those two sayings tattooed anywhere?
No.
You might not. You love those two sayings.
I love
surprised
tattoos. I have a lot of tattoos. My whole torso is tattooed. My back is tattooed. Yeah, I have lots of ideas for tattoos.
What's the one what was the first one?
My first tattoo was the all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
The eye of Horus,
Yeah.
most people call it.
Yeah.
And I only wanted that one.
Yeah.
And then I got the symbol for the Tao. And then it just kind of went back and forth on my arms over the years because I wanted symmetry. And I always have ideas for
Yeah.
tattoos.
How old were you when you got the first one?
Well, I was about 17.
17. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were younger. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think, over the years, and tattooing has evolved. Now, it's really very common to have tattoos now.
But I imagine when you were starting out, it wasn't common.
It was just me and all the convict women, It was just, not everyone had tattoos.
When did you decide, or when did you come to the conclusion that you wanted to be a musician? How old were you?
Oh my gosh, I was probably in my 20s.
Yeah, oh really? So a little bit older.
I was never a singer. I never decided to be a singer. I just kind of was accidentally in a band.
How do you accidentally get in a band? How do you accidentally? Because one day, I don't know, I just got in a band.
Yeah, it really was. I was taking theater. I was not.
Oh, you're gonna be an actress?
Mm-hmm. I initially wanted to be in ballet, and then went into theater, and then a hot drummer.
It's always the hot drummer.
Wanted me to be in
always the hot
his
drummer.
band,
Yeah.
and that was that. And I dropped out of university, and we went on tour.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Just like that? Because you could sing. Did you know you could sing?
No.
You had no idea.
Mm-mm.
You picked up a mic?
Yeah, because their singer quit and they needed a singer, and that was it.
Come on.
That was it. But it was punk rock music. It wasn't like opera. It was easy.
It was easy because you could be angry.
You didn't have to sing very well.
No?
Not really.
But you do sing really well.
Well, thank you. That's very nice. I mean, it was just, it was just kind of, it was such a good fit. It was such a good fit.
And the first time you did it, were you like, I talk to comedians sometimes, and they say the first time they got a laugh on stage, they were like, that was it. They were hooked on being a comedian because they wanted that reaction from the audience. Was that similar for you?
I think it was, well, I think that it wasn't even about the audience because we knew them all. We were going to the punk rock shows anyways. So we knew all these guys. I was often the only girl there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember very clearly I didn't want to be misinterpreted. So I didn't, because I was the only girl, and my best friend was a stripper.
Okay.
So most of those guys, the only basis of comparison they had for seeing a girl on the stage was at the Peeler bar next door.
Okay.
So I made sure often that I wore baggy clothes, and I didn't want to dress to be objectified. And so I made sure there was I wanted to differentiate. And so I had to be very deliberate.
How were you so aware at that? Like that's very hyper aware of kind of how you can be sexualized like that. What made you that aware? Like why?
Because they yelled, "Show us your tits."
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And I knew not to take it personally.
Yeah.
And I also knew not to get too angry, or to, if that was an issue, we could hit them.
Yep. So you could either hit them
Back then we would just hit them. It's like, a different time.
Yeah.
And young bands today with girls, they stop playing. They leave the stage. They're offended. They get upset.
Yeah.
But it was a different era.
Did you ever, now in terms of your experience as what was like, was there a defining moment for you, like of how you wanted to think about yourself and in terms of your sexuality or?
I don't know. I think that it's always kind of been the same. I think that when I was in my early 20s, I think I had a bit of a light bulb moment or an aha moment when, it occurred to us that we could make out with girls and the sky wouldn't fall.
Yeah.
You
You wouldn't go to hell?
Yeah, we were like, oh, and that was like something that was really samey for us with guys or girls. But my primary relationships have always been, I always married guys. I think that that's kind of, and back then we could kind of run around claiming and being and feeling like we were bisexual. And it kind of had no bearing on our big relationships. And I think that within the context of the queer community,
Yeah.
I think that it was um kind of it I don't know, I think it was kind of trivialized within the straight community because there was so much porn.
Mm-hmm.
Like Girls Gone Wild was popular, all that kind of stuff. And I think that they kind of misunderstood what it meant to be bi.
But you in your life, you're more attracted to men than you are, or do you care? Do you care who your next relationship is going to be with? It doesn't matter to you.
I find as I get older, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. It's like whoever you want to be in a relationship with. I think that's freedom. I think to be able to kind of decide that you want to be in a relationship with whoever feels right for you is actually kind of very freeing, right? But many people would be too afraid to do that, which is why you have a lot of people who are afraid to come out and admit who they really are, as much to themselves, I think, sometimes as it is to others, right? It's hard. It's hard to be true to yourself and fair to yourself. Do you have you got any? I know right now you're going through some health challenges too, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about that and what that's been like for you?
Well, I always say breast cancer was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I was 36 when I was diagnosed, which is at that time it was kind of young. There was no real
very young.
social media. So it could have been quite isolating. I was already Bif Naked. So there I had no anonymity when I was diagnosed either. So it was kind of like, all the whispers in the hallway every time I went into the cancer agency. I think that served me as a patient, to be honest with you, because in many ways I had to be on. I couldn't feel sorry for myself because I was signing autographs in the chemo ward.
Right. Right.
And I think that that was actually a really good thing. And what it did was it forced me to look out for the rookie beside me in the chemo chair. And I became a volunteer. I became a peer-to-peer volunteer right away. And I discovered I had such a passion for doing it that I've never stopped. And
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome that you do that. It's giving back.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I never would have discovered that. I never would have had the opportunity otherwise. And I just love it. And I discovered that hospice and palliative volunteering is a very underserved section of the volunteer services. And so I discovered I love doing that. And again, without a diagnosis, I never would have been thrust into that work. So I loved it.
It's so nice that you do that. Like honestly, you said something. You said your mom said Beth. How did you go from Beth to Bif Naked?
Oh, well, Biff was a nickname I got in high school because a kid mispronounced my name.
Okay.
And that was really how it happened. And at the time, I think it was, they were trying to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And so I just adopted the name. And Bif Naked was my provocative stage name when I was 18. My best friend was a stripper.
Yeah.
And so I was Bif Naked when I was in a band called Gorilla Gorilla. Because we were basically, that was what my name was. All these punk rock guys had their crazy stage names. Mark Arm was in Mudhoney, and Joey Shithead was in DOA, and Chai Pig was in SNFU, and I was Bif Naked from Gorilla Gorilla, and it just stuck.
Bif Naked. I love
All
it.
these years.
I love it. And it's so memorable. Like, it's such a memorable name. I was talking to Cardinal, who, like, just his real name is Jason. So like, how do you go from that? And he said, I don't know, like, this just happens. You kind of adopt it and you get there. So it's actually really, I mean, I think it's interesting. But I also think, do you ever get lost in that identity? Do you remember Beth, or do you think of yourself ever as like, I'm just Beth?
I don't know. I always think that it's just the same person. I remember seeing an interview, I think it was with Alice Cooper, who said he was two different people. And I always thought that was odd.
Did you ever think you'd be this famous?
I always say I'm only famous in the kitchen.
Because you're that good a cook.
I can only make Indian food. I can't make anything else.
What do you
I can't make pasta at all.
Biryani, or like what are you good at?
Vegetarian food, chana masala,
Yeah.
vindaloo. Yeah. Love it.
Isn't that like, I mean, I love Indian food, but I always think it's so fattening. Like, it's a lot of butter and
I don't. No, vegan.
Oh, you're vegan. So what do you put in there?
Butter.
No butter.
No.
No cream.
No, never.
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 When did you go vegan?
The 90s.
The 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Nobody was vegan in the 90s, were
Yeah,
they?
it was hard. So we just ate fruits and vegetables. So back then we were called raw food vegan.
Raw food vegan.
But we didn't know it was called that.
So you just ate fruits and vegetables. And do you ever have like, how did you get your protein? Look, I guess your lentils and fava beans and.
Well, this is the thing. Who needs that much protein?
Apparently they say nowadays you need like a gazillion ounces.
It drives me crazy.
It drives you crazy?
Yeah. Unless you're a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Who needs that much protein?
I know.
No.
We all think we need to change our lives. I mean, isn't that what we're getting marketed all the time? That you got to be, you got to change your life.
It's so silly. I argue with my friends. They all say that. Where's your protein? You need protein. You need protein. I always think, why? Why do I want to look like Lou Ferrigno? Like, why does everybody want to look like Lou Ferrigno? I mean, look at all the other populations in the world, for example. They're not running around counting their protein. Really. It's only like wealthy Western world mentality.
That's very true. That is very true. That I agree.
So then how can it not be nonsense?
It's very true. It's very true.
That's how I kind of look at things.
Biff, is there anything, I feel like we've covered so many different topics, and I have so much I want to ask you, and so my mind's kind of racing in a bunch of different directions about how to ask you the question of how you feel about yourself right now. Like, how do you feel about Biff? Like,
that's such a good question. I'm very hopeful.
Yeah.
I like getting older a lot. I feel like I am, I look ahead to the future. I like aging. I think it's very funny. My girlfriends and I, who are all in our 50s and tumbling towards aging, it's funny, and I want to be silly.
Yeah.
It's the unknown, and I think that it's, because people that are behind, meaning younger, they're so upset. Like, I find that younger people...
With getting older?
They're upset about everything.
Oh, they're just mad about everything.
Yeah, and they're very upset about getting older.
Yeah.
They're upset about aging. They're upset about turning 40. And they're upset about everything. And I just kind of, I can't worry about stuff like that. And I think that the whole with age comes wisdom is really revealed itself to me, especially through the divorce that I have just kind of survived. And And I just think, oh my gosh, wow, I am so happy to be getting older. I want to go on boat cruises with my girlfriends. I want to be Blanche Devereaux. I want to, the goth one, the goth version of Blanche Devereaux. I want to have 1,000 Yorkie dogs. I want to get in a big Cadillac with the roof down and drive all the way to San Jose. Like,
Thelma and Louise.
yeah, I really want to relax more. I want to have fun and I want to laugh more. I think that, there's a lot of how-to books that people clamor to find these steps. There's a lot of different, like we're talking about counting protein grams and really expensive reformer Pilates classes and all this stuff. And I just think, no, no, no. This is, again, it's Western culture. We're being sold all of these instructions. I have a feeling it's actually very simple.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Beth. I hope, first of all, I hope all of those things happen for you. I think you're the kind of person that puts things out into the universe and then goes about making those things happen because you believe in them. So I hope you get all those things that you just listed off about what you want to do. I hope you do them. Because I'm older than you are, and I say this, I guess to say this, most of my guests, because I am getting older. I'm 69 years old. I feel like all I think about now is I want to go get that place in Paris and live there and then I think, why don't I do it? Okay, I'm going to do it. So I'm doing it. Like I'm going to do it. And maybe that's a cliche to say you want a place in Paris. But I love Paris. And so I'm going to go there and I'm going to spend some time there. And there's things that we can tell ourselves we want to do. And then before we know it, we haven't done it. And then it's too late because our health changes or something happens and we can't do it anymore. I just think life is full of excuses as to why you don't live the life you want, right? You want to live this life. I think you should. Like I think you should be maybe try it alone for a while and see what happens. See
Yeah.
what happens. What do you want to say to anything you want to say to our audience before we go? Like anything you want to any last words of wisdom for people who are thinking about life and relationships?
Oh, I'm going to tell you, live in joy.
Yeah. Live in joy. Is there anything more important, right?
Nothing.
Nothing. I have experienced Joy sitting next to Viv because she's got like this. You've got again. You're. As I said to you at the very beginning of the episode, your eyes. You sense this. I don't know how to explain it. I can feel the pain. I can feel the love. I can feel the joy. I can feel I can see it all. Because you're an open book with it. You're not trying to be somebody you're not. So I've been feeling joy. I've been feeling lots of joy talking to you and listening to your dog snore. Listening to Grace snore. Grace, do you want to can you pick her up or is she
I
gonna?
can.
We should have let's give Grace a cameo appearance on this.
Come on,
Grace.
Yes.
Hey, Grace. Hi. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on this special episode of Arlene Is Alone. If you haven't listened to her music, please go and listen to her music. Follow her on Instagram and on all of her socials that she still is on. Bif is one of those women that is blazing her own trail unapologetically, bravely, and compassionately. And it's been an honor to be with you. So,
thank you for having me.
thanks, everybody. See you soon.